That's boring, really.
Puppet master? What's the verb?
Puppeteer?
I don't puppeteer.
Musical, but I sing a bit,
You
and he
sing
enjoyed
really
that.
well, Taron.
I sing okay. That's grammatically interesting. I sing okay.
My kids are obsessed with you in Sing.
Are they?
They love that stuff.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, you're brilliant.
Thank you. I don't get recognised from that one very much, obviously, because I'm a gorilla. But yes.
I'm so happy here. My experience of Norway is reading Henrik Ibsen, so I thought everyone was going to be really miserable.
I am constantly learning that I should go to bed at a reasonable hour. That's something that I hope to learn, you know, maybe in my mid-30s, which is approximately 10 years away, so we'll see how that goes.
And I loved English. Shout out, Mr. Francis.
I'm a big fan of Joseph Campbell, who invented that phrase, finding your bliss, and there couldn't be a better example of it.
Finding your bliss.
Find your bliss. It's like, don't worry about what anyone else thinks or what is cool.
I like, you know, soul. I'm a big sort of Four Tops, Temptations, Otis Redding, I was born in the wrong time.
You're a big man. I imagine you're good with big man and that kind of swing thing as well.
Yeah, I quite like a bit of swing as well. Frank and Bing and all of that. I'm a classics guy.
There are a few things that I'd like to keep from the film, just if anyone from the studio is listening.
Do you read the comics?
When I was a kid, I grew up in rural Wales, so we didn't have comic book shops.
We didn't have comics, we had tea.
Yeah, we had like sheep and stuff. But I have read a few like compilations over the years, and I read Mark Millar's Fantastic Four and things, and I've got the House of X and the Power of X at home, waiting to be read, which is the new ones.
Aren't they amazing?
I haven't read them yet. I'm finishing off a book called A Little Life, which I'm enjoying very much. But
wonderful.
One person, that was very good. One person. But I intend to read them when I get home. But I love the world of it. I love the fantasy of it. I love the escapism of it. And you know, so does the rest of the world.
Is there anything else that you've read that you've been like, oh my God, I would love if this was a movie?
That's a really interesting question.
Okay, I need you to not sound like a Skeksis when you're thinking of...
Do you know, I can't think of anything that immediately springs to mind, but there are things I'd like to see, not necessarily that I would be... Not necessarily that I'd be in, but there are things I'd like to see. Mm-hmm. Do you know, there's a writer called Haruki Murakami who writes amazing...
Yes.
Yeah, maybe some of his things.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, look at that. He just hit me with something, okay.
I did it in my hometown. I asked someone to be quiet, actually.
You were that guy.
Well, my father was with me and he hadn't seen it. And someone was chatting and I said, oh, I'm sorry, do you mind if you keep it down? Because I'm him and my...
Did you say that?
And this is my dad.
Did you say that, really?
I did, yeah. Well, I did, yeah. And, what would I like to be a part of that has already come out? Yeah. Oh, come on, Taron. Do I have a time machine?
Yes. You can have whatever you want, honey. This is
Star Wars. First Star Wars. 100%. Oh. I have dreams where I wake up and my life isn't real. And that I'm not...
Oh, like you're in an alternate universe? And
that I'm not an actor and that I dreamt it and then it's not real. I dream that it's a regular thing I have. And it's never like a nightmare. It's just like, bummer, I'm not really an actor, you know? So all I really want is just for my life as it has become to carry on. I'm happy with the level I'm at, you know. I don't need to be, you know, Harry Styles or whatever, right? I just want to work. I want to make work I'm proud of, and I want to keep doing it. And I love the fact that I've been lucky enough to do different things. So I've done the spy films and Eddie the Eagle, and I've done a musical, and but you don't. That's really sweet. You don't have to do that every time I give them. But I love the variety of it. I love being creative, and that's all I want out of life, really, to keep doing that.
What frustrating is it now when people ask you to say where you're from? Because you were on Ellen.
Yeah.
And then you're on Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
Is it every other interview somebody goes, so?
Well, it's like a party trick, isn't it? The thing is, because I led quite a nomadic existence growing up, we moved a lot because we always rented houses. So I moved a bit. And I don't really feel like my kind of hometown, my identity of where I consider home really clicked until I was about 12, which is when I moved to Aberystwyth, which is, I still, own property that's where I go back to, But I know what you're referring to. So when I was a kid in primary school, I went to Ysgol Llanfair Pwyllgwyngyll go gerach yn drobach at y siliol o gwch.
Bless you.
I know. It's phlegmy. I don't mind saying it. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool with you here like this. I like it less in front of a big old studio audience. Hey guys, it's me, Shazam.
That's literally off on an island, right?
Yeah.
The village with the longest name. It's that one.
Yeah.
Please spare me from having to do it again. I mean, the world and his mum's seen it now, on streamers or whatever. Yeah. But at the time, it didn't quite bring people into the cinema in the way we hoped, which, I think some people were upset about. It didn't make a great deal of difference to my life in that moment, But I was just so proud that we'd made something that I felt had loads of warmth and love in it. I think his brand of extroversion, if that's a word, being an extrovert. There are actors in the world who are, always in phenomenal shape and are very considered about their appearance, and I just haven't got it in me. So I'm a little bit more, I have moments where I'm in good shape, and I have moments where I take great pride in my appearance, and I have moments where I really don't give a shit. It's just fab. It was just such, again, harking back to what we were saying earlier. You'll feel like you're really reaching, I don't know what the bloody word is. It'll feel like stuff's better when it goes by without people noticing. Do you know
exactly.
What I mean? Selfishly speaking, I did really enjoy just kind of disappearing for a while. It was very near my family, and we were able to sort of see them a bit in the garden when the Welsh weather allowed.
It doesn't always.
Yeah, exactly. But, it was nice. Did a lot of reading and kind of just, I don't know. I think I've had such a manic few years, really. In my 20s, really, have been kind of manic. And I think I felt like as the world sort of came to a halt, I just found that I could sit still a bit more.
Yeah.
And kind of do things that I hadn't been able to do for a while. I said I read a lot, and I only say it because I haven't read for a few years. I've just found it really hard to zone in and focus, and something about
find yourself rereading the same page
over and over
again because I'm not taking this in. Yeah,
and then you get paranoid, thinking, is Instagram ruining my brain? You know, and that fear actually a while ago had led me to removing Instagram from my phone because I just scroll nonsense, and so I just keep it on my iPad and do it when I need to do it.
Perfect.
But yeah, I just found, for some reason, about 4 weeks into lockdown, I picked up a book and just really settled into it. And it just felt like having a warm bath. It was so nice. That facility just came back to me,
Yeah.
Like, is there like a respite from acting in writing or playing with the guitar or whatever? Or
so I do love to sing. I sing all the time. It's not something that I do professionally, but I occasionally take lessons. And if you get me in a karaoke bar, I mean, I'm not trying to call it an artistic pursuit, but
I guess I love to read.
So, what's your go-to karaoke? What's in the repertoire?
George Michael Faith is my go-to.
Nice.
Okay, this is fun. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Movies or books?
Go either way. This is your podcast.
The Hobbit was a very, very, very big book in my childhood, but so were J.K. Rowling's books.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of books, I'd probably have to go Lord of the Rings. And in the nicest possible way, I think Lord of the Rings was a bit of a precursor to Harry Potter in a lot of ways.
Of course, I'm sure she would admit to that to some degree.
In terms of the films, I think probably the Potter movies,
I think a better batting average, maybe, right?
Yeah,
with respect, obviously.
With the greatest respect, I think, we're going on batting average because look, there are some fantastic moments and fantastic.
The highs of that are great, but
Sir Ian McKellen in Lord of the Rings is incredible. It's got some brilliant elements, but I think the Harry Potter movies might just pip it.
Fair enough.
First. Okay.
Favorite Godfather movie? Godfather 2, obviously.
I've had this. I don't know. It's a mood thing for me.
It is a mood thing for me. Do you know why it is for me? Because I read the Mario Puzo novel first, and
this is going to be sacrilegious to say it, but I read The Godfather before I watched it, and
that's unusual. Actually,
it's very unusual, and actually, in that classic way, it stopped me from connecting with it fully. It did, because I had such a clear idea of the characters, and even the great Brando Pacino.
Right, you're
combo.
like, they could have done better.
No, I know
it wasn't in your mind's eye. It wasn't what
the
it was.
greatest actors of the past 50 years.
Yeah,
but I just could not break away from your brain is so, the imagination is always going to be more powerful.
Interesting. And 2 was uncharted territory to a degree for you, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I didn't read. I think this Godfather 2 is based on the Sicilian. I think it's called. I think.
Or maybe Elements. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I hadn't read that, so it felt easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 1 or 2 more. Feel free to choose your own end.
Let's go for 2 because I'm actually enjoying this. My drink of choice is. So it really does vary. At the moment, alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
We're adults here.
We're adults here. So at the moment, I'm on the soda, vodka, fresh lime.
Okay. It does the trick.
Desperately trying to get my abs back. And then, but ordinarily, I am a lager guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good for the Kingsman diet, probably.
Not good for the Kingsman diet. I like Peroni. It's Peroni Italian beer. Let's go with one more.
All right, finish strong. No pressure.
Finish strong. Zombies or vampires? That's a great finish. So, I love zombie movies. Right back from the George Romero stuff, through to Shaun of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead, which I think is brilliant. Although Fast Zombies, hot potato.
28 days later, 28 weeks later.
Brilliant movies, but they're kind of they're more like Rage Virus, right?
Right. Yeah, I know Danny Boyle doesn't call them zombies in that.
Yeah. And then of course, most recently the brilliant Walking Dead. I think for me, because and I've read World War Z. I read that before I saw it as well, and there's something about the whole apocalyptic thing that it just makes for interesting character drama.
Yeah,
whereas vampires kind of seem to be more secret shadows running alongside society, feeding off. Right.
That being said, a good circle back to Gary Oldman. A good Bram Stoker's Dracula always does the trick.
Yes, absolutely. But I am a sucker for kind of apocalypse themed things. So I think on that basis, I'm going for zombies over vampires.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could always go. Even if it's a shitty post-apocalyptic movie, I'm still kind of in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just fine with being in that world.
The only one do you know what I didn't watch? I didn't watch the Viggo Mortensen Road.
The Road's good. Have you read the book of that one?
I read the book, and it had such a profound effect on me that I just could not. I couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
I couldn't risk it because I also read No Country for... This whole podcast is me just been showing off about books I've read. Isn't it?
I get it. Taron Egerton can read.
I haven't read anything for ages, actually, probably over a year. But I read No Country for Old Men, and I knew I was safe with that. Because, beloved Coen brothers,
they won't do you wrong.
They're not going to do us wrong, and it was easily as good as the book. But with The Road, I just couldn't risk it. It had such a profound. I was so profoundly moved by it that I couldn't risk having it ruined by the movie.
Well, to be continued. We're going to continue Taron's movie and book club of the month on Josh.
It's going to become a regular feature. Yeah. So next week, readers, we will be discussing Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami.
Oh wow, really highbrow.
I think there is a sort of slightly outdated idea about Rada being this kind of very sort of hoity-toity place.